Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Big Bud Farm, and it's a very early start for us this morning. It's only 4:30, but the price for soybean at the moment is very good. It's over 1,000 down at Small Farm, and it's also in the high 900s or mid 900s at the diner as well. So we're going to make a grain sale nice and early on. You can see we are currently sitting at around 17,500 in debt. We did actually have about 4,000 or so overnight, and then because a lot of the money I'd put into, we made from the bales, I'd put into the bank. Oh, and I did tell you I would let you know how much money we made baling as well. So let me just find that image. So I screenshotted it to make a note. Okay, so we made in the end a total of 274 bales across both of the fields, and that raised $44,936 in total. A mighty effort there. And so we used some of that money to pay off our debt in with the bank, and that left us with about $4,000 going into the overnight situation. The midnight struck, and now we're at $17,500 in debt. So you can see that our daily debts at the moment are very high. All of our equipment is costing us an absolute fortune. Plus the animal upkeep is a bit expensive as well. This is one of the reasons why we're going to be doing this grain sale so early in the morning, taking advantage of the market while it's as nice as it is. Why can't I get this trailer lined up? Going at this angle should help. There we go. You can see our extra bale trailer there, nestled away. So let's fill up with soybean. We'll take one container down to Small Farm, and then we'll move over to the diner and tip there as well. This means we're going to use up quite a lot of the soybeans that we've had. We've already sold one container's worth. Now we're going to sold another two. But it'll be worth it in the end. And then once we've got the sales out of the way, we will get time back to normal speed at 5 times, and we'll move on to seeding. We have 3 different fields to seed now. We have field 3, 5, and also field 1. We're going to be seeding that for the first time. So the plan for that is to use the 747 to seed field 1, and we might go for canola on that field, which is slightly controversial because it means our seeder is going to run out. That's almost guaranteed. Oops. And also, it does mean we're going to get a very, very large volume of canola. But we need to experiment with our crop volumes on field 1. We've done soybean. Canola is, the next kind of logical step that our Terminator can seed. And we'll use the cultivator and Great Plains YP2425A to seed the other 2 fields so that we can get our other big buds working as well. It's been a while since we've done a seeding run with those 2 working in tandem like that. Not since the very beginning of the series, I think, is the last time we did that. Alright, so let's go sell our grain. So there we can see the prices that we're looking at there. Now we do have a decent price for sunflowers, but we have so few sunflowers that we're just going to hang on to those. But you can see we're selling here at Small Farm for $1,032 per 1,000 litres, which is one of the very best prices we've ever seen here. And the diner is slightly better than what we have right now. So we'll go and sell there for the second trailer's worth. That's 72,000 there. I'm also thinking about getting a slurry spreader because we have the opportunity to sort of fertilise our fields for free here. Always thought we had grass planted on there for a second there. It's just the stubble left over. We have the opportunity to fertilise our fields for free because we have all of that digestate that is sitting at the BGA bunker. At the biogas plant, having done all that silage earlier. That 1.6 million litres is certainly going to produce quite a nice amount of digestate for us. So it makes a lot of sense for us to get ourselves a decent sized slurry spreader so that we can start working on that. So we'll need a spreader, and B, we'll need a way to transport more slurry to the field, because there's no way that a single spreader is going to be able to cope with the size of the field. We're going to run out on a pretty regular interval, so it makes sense for us to have some kind of transport system in place as well. So a few different things for us to look at purchasing. I was also hoping to use this money to perhaps upgrade the truck and bring in the Legend, but I think the slurry is definitely a more worthwhile purchase, especially seeing as we have all that free fertiliser that's waiting to be used. Field 1 on its own is going to cost us a small fortune to fertilise if we have to pay for it, so it makes a lot of sense to use it, the free stuff, if we have that available. So here we are at the diner for our second sale. $944. So let's see, what can we do for slurry? The obvious choice would probably be this, the Veen Hewis Premium Integral. That's $106,000. We'll be able to afford that. 30,000 litre capacity. We could also do with probably getting one of these as a way to transport more slurry. How much are those? They're 45. So we could afford that if we took out a little bit of a loan. How much loan money do we actually have left? We have 35,000, so we can afford to do both, which is kind of just as well, really, because we really do need both. So there's some stuff for us to purchase. Let's take the truck back to the store, not to the store, sorry, to the farm. Get that stuff parked back up, and then we'll go pick up our new slurry equipment. As we make our way over to the store, I just wanted to pop and have a quick look and see how much slurry we have. 481,000 litres of digestate. That's an awful lot. That's an awful lot. So, we're talking 16 trailers worth of slurry there at 30,000 litres a trailer. So definitely more than enough to do at least some fertilising for free. Alright, so we're here at the store. We need some more money, so let's pull out that extra little bit of money from our loan. There we go. So we need one of these integrals. We'll buy that. And we want one of these Garant cotters as well. So we're going to keep our white theme going. I know it's a little bit cheesy in some respects. Design white or colour. Oh, I suppose better go colour. I have no idea what the colour's going to be, but we can always amend this afterwards. But we'll buy one of those as well. You can see we've just got enough. $2,800 left. It's not a lot. So let's go pick up our gear. Let's see what we've got. So there we go. It's just changed the logo from white to red. That's kind of cool. So we'll get that connected up. There's no rear tow hook, I don't think, on this, but we'll check anyway, just in case. Helps if you're going to back up in the straight line. No, there's no rear attacher. I didn't think there was, so let's take this over to the digestate tank. And actually looks quite nice as a unit like that. So maybe we'll keep hold of our little twin star here, so that it can shuttle our slurry like this, and just buy a legend outright rather than doing a trade-in. I might have to seriously think about that. It'd also give us the ability to use this truck as a shunter for moving some of our larger containers around as well, and also would come in very handy in doing double tips, where we can have two trucks parked up side by side, tipping at the same time. So I think I might do that. I might keep this now and then just save up for a legend entirely. But we'll get this over, we'll get this filled up, then we'll get a big bud, we'll go collect our slurry spreader. We'll get that filled up, we'll take it over to a field and start using it. So I'm going to jump ahead, and I'll catch you once we are at a field and ready to go. So the plan initially was to have filled up the slurry spreader straight away and then bring the refill tanker over, but I realised Big Bud is so slow that it made sense to actually bring this over and transport the slurry directly, using the much faster truck than using Big Bud to fill up our spreader. So we'll get it filled up. They have the same capacity, 30,000 litres each, which is good. So we'll get it filled up here, and then we'll get it straight onto the field, and while that's working we'll go back and fill up with another load. I'm genuinely curious as to how far our spreader is actually going to get. We've not used slurry really much on the channel. We certainly haven't used it on this farm, and we've never used this piece of equipment on a Let's Play other than in contract work, where it has a completely unlimited supply. So obviously that is not the case here. It's very interesting to see how far on this field it can go before it runs out. So let's move our truck out of the way so that we can get unfolded. And let's try and get ourselves lined up. That looks pretty good to me. So let's send off our worker. Perfect. Well, this is a little bit of a worry. I mean, we are not even halfway down the field yet, and already we've almost run out of slurry. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, I think we may have to be a little bit creative here. I think there's a way you can actually set up... Yeah, we can do that. So if I do that... Oops. Let's quickly switch back to the truck. Let's get that filled up. So we've got a fill level of 420297. So if I hire a worker on this, because I've never used the fill directly from one of our existing points before, so in theory this should be going down, and it is. That's kind of cool. I've never seen it do that before. Could have saved ourselves a bit of money on buying a slurry tanker there. So I think what I might do, because it's going to be unrealistic for us to constantly have to refill, and a third, 2/3 of the way down the field every single time. Is we'll go and, because I can't unload this back into the tank. What we'll do is we'll fill up our spreader, and then we'll go and sell this Garant tanker. There's no point having it if it's going to be of no real use to us. I just didn't realise just how quickly that slurry was going to get used up. That is insanely fast, huh? That is getting used up there. So yeah, we'll refill once it hits the bottom of field 1, and we should beat it there. And then once we've done that, we'll go and sell our Garant tanker. That's a bit of a shame. I was liking the idea of that, but that slurry use rate is just way too fast. Right, so it's time to get our seeding rig set up. So we're in the 747. We're going to grab our Terminator, and we're going to go and seed field 1. Now I'm highly expecting us to run out of seed on this field. I don't know whether or not we've got an easy way of getting seed out there. Ideally I wouldn't mind having a second one of these tanks so that we could swap them over part way through, but it is what it is. So let's get these both refilled, both fertilizer and seed. There we go. Alright, so we are fully stocked up on seed and fertilizer. So this is going to get us, a nice seed bed of canola on the field. It's also going to get us stage 2 fertilization. So let's take this monstrosity over to field 1. And when we get there, we're going to fit some duals on this thing, because we haven't run this with duals yet. So we'll also grab our truck with a toolbox. We'll get some duals fitted, and just see it running a little bit wider than we have done previously. Alright, so here we are. Let's lower the bed down so we can get easy access to our toolkit. And let's customize our big bud. Fit twin wheels. Oh, hello. Wheel suddenly appeared in front of our face. Should have expected that, really. Alright, so toolkit is used. Let's lift the bed up, and let's move the truck out of the way. There we go. Obviously we're going to have to reconnect to our seeder because we've customised this. There we go. So let's zoom out a bit. That's the wrong pipe. There we go. Get everything unfolded. Get lined up. As you saw earlier, we've already set the other big bud up and running with the Swifter. Start cultivating. Might as well, seeing as we're waiting. So it makes sense to start cultivating that field. So here we go. Big bud is going to be seeding on this field for the very first time. There we go. I wonder how quickly we're going to run out of seed. With canola, pretty quickly, I'm guessing. Now we are about halfway through slurry spreading on this field, and I'm starting to worry that we're actually going to run out of slurry at the BGA before we finish this field off. I'm not entirely sure how much is left there, but you know, the rate that we have been using it, there can't be a huge amount left. You can see our 450 is fully stocked, so we'll get, you know, 2/3 of a pass done once it does run out, and then we'll have to start buying it directly. And there you can see our 747 seeding in the background there as well. Frame rates do seem to have tanked a little bit with all three big buds working at the same time. That's a little bit of a shame, but you can see a lot of visual interference on the field as well. And there we go, slurring, cultivating and seeding all going on at the same time. Well, we actually look to be in pretty decent shape with our slurry situation. I mean, as you can see, we're on our final pass down the field. We still haven't run out at the digestate tank just yet. And we still have a full tank of slurry here as well. So if we do run out, we are probably about far enough way down the field now that we could actually finish the whole field off with what's left in the tank. So that's kind of reassuring. It also means that I might be able to get at least field 5 done with some slurry as well. Possibly field 3. We'll have to see how that goes. Speaking of field 3, you can see our Swifter is almost finished cultivating there. And then we've got field 5 to cultivate. And Big Bud is still chugging along, as you can see. Seed is getting pretty low, so when we get to the bottom of the field here, we're actually going to fold up, refill the seed, because there are seed tanks in that little area just over there, directly above the Big Bud. You can see them there. We'll go and refill the seed and then come back and run again. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 passes before we've felt the need to refill our seed. We could probably do 5, but then we'd be all the way at the top end of the field and have to come all the way down just to refill. So doing 4 makes a lot more sense. Helper C has finished their task. That must be our Swifter. So let's get everything folded up. And the tanks are over here. I wonder, actually, if I can be a little bit clever. And just stick the pipe through the bushes. Let's have a look. Not quite close enough. Alright, let's try that a little bit better. Nope. Still not close enough. That's kind of odd. Alright, let's just do it the proper way. Let's get in there and get next to the tanks. We're probably the wrong way round on those. It'll be fun. I have to go round the tree Turn around there. Spin back for the tanks. I'm assuming that these tanks actually work. I mean, I've not used these. I've not used anything down this way before, so it's possible that these just aren't programmed in, although I'd be very surprised if that's the case. We probably just weren't close enough. Yeah, there we go. We must have just not been close enough. So we'll have a little refill pit stop there. You can see our slurry is making its way down to the end of the field. That's reassuring to see. So we've been making some pretty good progress. You know, obviously we've still got the rest of this field to do. We've got the other 2 fields to seed as well. But we're going to put canola on this one. I think if we take a look at our current in crops, I think we'll probably do sunflowers on field 3, and then I think I'm going to go with corn on field 5, just to get some corn in there. I don't really want to do any barley. We've got plenty of wheat, and I don't want to have to go through that baling nightmare again quite so soon. But we'll put some corn down, I think, on field 3. So on field 5, we'll put sunflowers on field 3, and obviously we've got canola going in here on this field. So plenty of variety in our crops that'll be, you know, available to us both for the harvest and then in our silos once we've collected them all. But let's get Big Bud back in action. And I realise it's kind of inane saying Big Bud because I only have 3 proper working tractors and they are all Big Buds, but you know the one I mean. We're talking about the 747. So let's get unfolded again. Get lined up. And as best we can. It's actually looking pretty close. Look at that, that's pretty much perfect. That is perfect, look at that. Beautiful. So, the Beast, the 747, is up and running again. Let's see, the Swifter is finished, so we'll get that folded up. We'll move this over onto field 5, open up and get cultivating on there again. Go. I'm expecting to once again have the issue of the AI going, don't want to do it when we get to the bottom bit of this field. So we'll start down here just to kind of get that out of the way, I suppose. There we go. And now we can get this folded up. Oops, wrong button. That's what I meant to do, turn the engine on. I genuinely wonder how much is left in our digestate tank. Actually, I suppose before we go anywhere, it would probably be a good idea to actually go and have a look. So let's jump into the truck. Where is the truck? The truck's going to be this way, quicker. Not the truck, yeah, the pickup, there we go. Let's take the pickup over and actually have a look at the fill level that remains in our digestate tank. Alright, so let's take a look. Oh, it's empty. We have literally just run out of digestate, so we timed that really, really closely. Did we actually use up any? Yeah, we did. Look, we used just a little bit up at the end there. So, okay, that's suggesting that we won't really get that much more fertilising done. At least not with this, anyway. Not for a while. We're going to have to do another silage run, start generating more digestate, I think. Also, we're going to need to get cows up and running pretty soon so we can start manufacturing slurry. I don't really want to do pigs. A, because the pig's bugged and it's going to dump grain in the wrong place. Even with the update, I've heard and instead of dumping on field 2, it now dumps on field 4. So I haven't seen that because I haven't run pigs. I may, just out of curiosity, just load the file up at some point later this weekend, buy in a couple of pigs and see where the mess does get spit out. I mean, if it's fixed, then it's fixed, and that means it does open up the possibility of pigs for us, but we'll see. But yeah, we're going to probably get a pass or two on field 5, and then we'll run out of slurry, and then we'll have to use fertiliser to finish the field off, rather than actually buying stuff in. I mean, you can see how much debt we're in already, and we've got a little bit of money in the bank. We've got 40 grand available in a loan, which I'd kind of like to keep there. Yeah, it's not an ideal situation. We do actually have a slight rebound in price on the soybean here at Small Farm, although the price is starting to drop now. It's about 950 at the moment, so I might just sell another container of soybean quickly here, just to give us a bit more working capital. We're burning through money so quickly right now, but when the next harvest comes in, we still haven't had a really good crop great demand yet. That's been really helpful for us. As soon as we get one of those for a crop that we have a lot of, especially say wheat, we are going to make a small fortune. If we can get it for canola once we've harvested field 1, that would be amazing, because we'll have so much. But we'll probably have about 500,000 litres. Let's see how far we can actually get on this field before we do run out. And did we actually have issues cultivating the field? Yes, we did. Look, you can see at the bottom there's that patch that hasn't been cultivated. That's fine, we can work around that. But we'll get this lined up. We're not going to start it straight away. Just want to get it kind of lined up. And I want to make sure I'm right on the edges of the field. I don't want to waste any of this slurry off the edge that I don't need to. Still off angle. Should get one of those, you know, several hours later pop-ups on the screen at this rate. Alright, that's close enough. Alright, so we'll leave that park there for a second. Let's see Swift. As soon as that's finished, we'll manually clean up that last part of the field there. Big Bud's still plodding away, as you can see, but obviously we're going to have to do probably 2 more refills, or at least 1 more refill, probably 2, to finish this field. Actually, no, 1 more refill should be good, but that's still a lot of seed. That's another 10,000 litres of seed, so that's going to be expensive. So yeah, we desperately need to get some kind of extra income into our farm, just to stop these running costs from crippling us. So I think we are going to have to get ourselves a solar panel as quick as we can. Right, I'm going to press on, and I'll catch up with you in just a moment. That's the cultivator cleaned and getting ready to put away, and you can see the clouds are starting to roll in. It's getting darker, more overcast. Some of the colour of the life of the map is starting to get leached out a little bit. Alright, can I back this up nice and easily? Having a pivoting cultivator and a pivoting tractor makes this quite tricky. Oops, pivoted the wrong way there. That's pretty good. I like that. Yep, that's pretty much spot on. Beautiful. Right, so let's get this hooked up. Definitely going to need to refill this. Which of our tanks? Oops. It is that one. So we're on the wrong side. Let's Let's get this refilled. And then we'll get this seeding away. That's fertilizer, that's not seed. There's the seed. Alright, there we go. Now we're cooking. Right, so let's get this started. See how far he'll get. I've cleaned off the rest of the end of the field there, so that'll be good to see. And how's Big Bud doing? It's got very grey all of a sudden, look. Really overcast. That's a shame, because the frame rate seems to have improved now that one of those Big Buds has stopped working. I was hoping to get some really nice bright screenshots, and it's all grey and overcast and I can't do it. Oh, that sucks. Oh well. You'll need to refill at the end of this run. That is halfway through the field, so yeah, we're going to need one more refill at the very least. Probably... Yeah, we're going to need 2 more refills. If we've done half the field with 2 fills, then a third will get us 3/4, and then we'll need another fill for the 4th. So, yeah, we're going to end up in a lot of debt. What's the prices like? It's rebounded up to 1,000. So, and now it's starting to drop. So, yeah, we're going to very quickly sell another container's worth of soybean while we have the opportunity to do so. So, I'm going to get that loaded and sold. And that'll help at least give us enough money to pay for finishing the rest of the field off. There we go, an extra 70,000, and not a moment too soon, because it's time to refill Big Bud. So we're going to lose a big chunk of cash straight away. See, our seed is all set up ready to go, but we're going to break out the breedle first of all and put a stage of fertilizer on this field to keep it in sync with the other 2 that we've done. So he's going to whiz off and do that field. Let's line up our seeder. That's also going to have an overlap issue, so again we can start a little bit off the edge of the field there. There we go. And get him up and running, seeding some sunflowers. And now it's time to get Big Bud back up and running as well. Still got plenty of fertilizer left in the tank here, as you can see. But yeah, $12,500 in seed costs. That money that we put in, that's going to disappear really quickly. You know, our next seed run is going to pretty much wipe us out. Puts back to 0. So we sold all of that soybean, and you know, it's all been eaten up by field work. Essentially, we bought 1 item of equipment. We sold the other one because it was, you know, pointless having it, and now we're just paying through the nose on seed and fertilizer costs again. So yeah, desperately need an extra source of income, just to help offset, you know, the ridiculous costs that we are incurring right now. I made a mess of this. I judged it so well the last time as well. That looks pretty good. Yeah, slight overlap, but it'll do. Right, so Big Bud is back up and running again, or the 750 is up and running. We've got this 450 is seeding here, this one is fertilizing, so nothing to do now but wait until one of these finishes their job. Alright, time for the final refill here. So let's get folded up. We've got a really short drive this time. We're straight here at the entrance to our little secondary camp here. Should probably start using this at some point. Well, we've got so much space at the main farm, it just makes sense to kind of use that. Alright, so we'll get some seed in and then we'll get restarted on the next part of the field, which is that strip there. So we've finally finished seeding sunflowers, as you can see. Time to go and reload the seeder, this time with some corn, and then plant away on field 5. So we have finished seeding, finally. All of that canola is done. As you can see, that's a lot of seed that we've put down on there, and a lot of money that we've spent to actually get that field seeded. If we take a look at field 5, you can see we're getting some good progress with our corn planting going on. So we're going to end the episode here. This will finish off camera. Don't forget, we have more farm sim content available on a regular basis. Massey Manor will be coming back probably at the beginning of September. I'm waiting for the West Coast map to come out before relaunching that. That's where we're going to be relaunching Massey Manor. And we still have Fent Farm, American Outback. We'll be running probably for another month or two before I look at closing that one down and opening something different. Big Bud Farm is going to continue for the foreseeable future. We still have a long way to go before we can own all of the fields. You know, the big challenge... Oh, AI is playing up on us. The big challenge, of course, is to own not just Field 2 as well, but also Field 4. So a lot of effort still to go to get us to that point. Of course, we have other content on the channel as well. So Avon Colony is still going. I've got Cities Skylines going live at some point next week. That'll be launched on PS4 on Wednesday at midnight, I believe. It's the 16th that goes live, which I think is Wednesday. And my copy should start automatically downloading in the next 6-7 hours or so. So that'll be all preloaded, ready to go, and as soon as it goes live, I will be playing that pretty much non-stop when I'm not recording. Plus, we also have some other little mini games that will be popping up on the channel as well, smaller network games. So I do hope you enjoy and watch those, and continue to support the channel as you have been doing so far. You know, much appreciated. You know, your continued viewing on the content I'm putting out. If you do have any suggestions for what you'd like to see, or changes you'd like to see, then obviously do get in touch and let me know. You can do so either here in the comments or on my Facebook page. There is a message button on my Facebook page where you can easily send me your ideas and thoughts or any feedback that you have. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back very soon.